Now, I found myself in an interesting situation where a couple weeks ago I realized not only am I taking over presidency, I have to make a speech. I have to make a speech that
Wear a suit.
You will notice my shirt is tucked in. So not only does this speech have to be motivational and inspirational.
Where's your tie?
Baby steps. Really, I was told that the point of this speech was to get the club excited for the upcoming year. So of course, in a way, I wrote the speech a million times, and quite frankly, I had a tough time doing so. So I'm going to share a few ideas with you, and then I'll give you the most current edition of this speech. That I will be selling at the end of the meeting for $5 a copy. Now, it was interesting because the reason I had a tough time finding this, or kind of putting this together, was because there's so many things to talk about with Rotary. I mean, where do you start? So I started by looking at the state of our club. I thought that makes the most logical sense. I was going to start to say our club's in a great position, and we've gotten stronger, we've grown in membership, we've grown financially, and we've helped more people. But at the end of the day, we all know how rich our club's history is. It needs to be shared more, but internally, we know how rich our history is. And at the end of the day, our club also doesn't have major problems. I'll say, when you go to PETS, for those in the future, and you hear other stories, you'll never be more thankful to be part of this club. I think at the end of the day, when we talk about our current state of our club, I think we've never been stronger. I think the big thing we need to hold is we need to respect our past, but embrace our future. And I thought that was the whole speech. That's pretty short. I was told that to be up here for at least 5 minutes. That's really not 5 minutes. So then I thought I'd tell you a story about how I became a Rotarian. I was going to tell you how I was training Ray, and we'd lift thousands and thousands of pounds. One pound at a time. Not as much as Mark Wafer. And then I was going to tell you how Ray was always telling me about this club called Rotary, in between sets of course, and not stalling. He was just telling me stories as he rested. And then I was going to want to tell you about how, before I even came to a Rotary meeting, Ray actually had me modify my whole training schedule so I could be a Rotarian on Tuesday mornings. That's when I realized I was being headhunted. And it was too late, and I was in. However, then I thought that's really not that motivating nor exciting, so I'll pass on that idea. For the third idea, I was going to tell you my Rotary journey from when I started to coming to this moment. Then again, I realized I'm sure it's not that different from your own. I'll steal Valerie Wafer's line where we're all Rotarians before we acknowledge that we are Rotarians. Some of us just take a little longer than others to realize it. So as you can imagine, I've had a handful of speeches. I've crumpled many pieces of paper. I've deleted many files. And I'm going to give you my latest version again. And I'm going to start by asking a question. What is Rotary? This seems to be the million-dollar question that our organization and our club has a tough time answering. For those of you who know me, I go for the million or I'll go broke. And it's either or. So I'm going to attempt to answer this question. Now you see, I'm from a generation where if I have a question, I don't call a friend, I don't ask my parents, though I love them, and I really don't look at a dictionary, and I've heard word of these things called encyclopedias, however, I'm yet to actually touch one. I'm from a generation where we Google it. So I Googled, what is Rotary? So I'm going to give you an exact quote of what I found. Rotary International is the world's first service club organization with more than 1.2 million members and 33,000 clubs worldwide. Rotary Club members are volunteers who work locally, regionally, and internationally to combat hunger, improve health and sanitation, provide education and job training, promote peace, and eradicate polio under the motto service above self. Not a bad start. However, for those of you who know me, you know I have to change things. So I'm going to attempt to alter that a little bit. This is my speech. What is Rotary? I think we all know the answer deep down. I'm going to put it in a few words. So as some of you may know, I'm a huge fan of coaching. I coach people in health, I coach people in fitness, and sometimes I coach them in other things. I've had many coaches over my short lifetime so far, from sports to health to money to business. And believe it or not, I still use a life coach. Now, what is a life coach? A life coach is someone who helps you find you. A little messed up. You have to find you, and I'm paying someone to find me, even though I'm right here, and all I have to do is look in the mirror. Just trust me, I'll get to a point. I'm Rotarian, you know I can't lie. You know what's in our bylaws. So I've used a life coach for a number of years, and other than my life coach sales, one of the major things a life coach does, like I said, is help you find you and prioritize things. They essentially push you through your comfort zones, and they help you establish and create a life that you want to create. And they don't let you settle for anything less. Sometimes they're your best friends, sometimes you absolutely hate them, but at the end of the day, they help you achieve what you want to achieve. There's many ways they help you do this, and many of them are exercises. I relate to my clients when they say I hate that exercise. There's many of these exercises that I do that I absolutely can't stand and make no sense. Kind of like how some of you are looking at me now. So one of the first exercises that I had to do was I had to write my own eulogy. Now, of course, this is a tough thing to do. I'm 27, believe it or not. And in my mind, I'm still invincible, and when I look in the mirror, I still see Superman. I'm a little delusional as well, but that's another story. So I had a tough time doing that exercise. And the point of the exercise is you write your own eulogy, and at the end of the day, if you look at where you are, and if something happened, God forbid, today, if people did say what you wanted them to say, what do you have to change for them to say it? Everyone get that part? Okay. So, these people in my life coaching group all wrote paragraphs and paragraphs. I wrote one sentence that I'd like to share with you. I hope, at the end of my days, people say that when Mike Finnegan was around, he made the world a better place. That's where it draws lines with Rotary. There's more. Of course, for those of you who are still listening, you might kind of see where I'm going with this, but I'm going to explain a little more. And another exercise I had me do was to write my own legacy. I realize now it's a similar point, but of course, I blindly did it anyways. And the whole point of it is, again, you write your legacy now, and if something were to happen today, if your legacy that you wrote is not in line with what you were doing, what do you have to change? Then go do it, and they hold you accountable to it. So before I tell you a legacy, I'm not going to tell you mine. I'd rather live it, and hopefully with Rotary will show it. I'm going to define what a legacy is. A legacy is what you leave behind. A legacy is what you remembered as. This may sound silly, but your legacy is not what you left for others, but what you left in others. We will not be remembered for our businesses, our money, the clothes we wear, or the cars we drive. We will be remembered as Rotarians, who made our community and world around us a better place. A great legacy might sound like this. So-and-so was a person who put others' needs above their own. They spoke truth and made people around them better. They were fair. They were the best friend we wish we could all have. And they made the world a better place. Kind of sounds like Rotary, doesn't it? This, my friends, is the answer. This is my answer of what is Rotary. Rotary is a group of people who speak truth and make people and situations around them better. Rotarians are fair, they are friends. They build new friendships along their journeys. We seek our local and international greatest needs, and we fill them. Rotary makes the world a better place. That's what Rotary is to me. My friends, I look forward to building to our club's history and continually working as a group to build our own legacies as a group and as individuals. Thank you very much.